Good evening today. Today I'm going to be talking about my DC movies, good and bad. Obviously, DC encompasses one of my favorite heroes, which DC being they have Batman, they have Superman, probably the two biggest names in superhero and action hero type films. I think Marvel has just more of a depth in their roster. But overall, DC has done some good things and some bad things. I think right now, DC, the last few films they had, going back to Wonder Woman, obviously Aquaman, and then going to the Joker, have all done really, really respectable, done well at the box office. Now, DC coming in, obviously they kind of kick-started where we are now with Tim Burton's Batman. Huge movie, huge success. They came back with Batman Returns. Well, in between time, DC has had a lot of TV shows, and I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of some of the shows they had. Obviously, they had Lois and Clark, Superboy, Smallville, and Supergirl. The Wonder Woman TV show was from 1975 to 1979, and then they had a small TV show called Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey encompasses when Jim Gordon gets killed, Bruce Wayne leaves Gotham, and he just leaves the city, and they have some heroes and different people come together. That was a 2002 show. It didn't do real well. Obviously, they had Batman, the TV show. And so basically they come out the gate and you have Superman. The first movie was on a budget of $55 million. It did $300 million. It was a smash hit. It was a great success. They came back with Superman 2. They had a budget of $54 million. It did $190 million. Superman 3 was $39 million, and it only gave them a return of $80 million. Then you had Superman 4, Quest for World Peace. I think they had a $17 million budget, and it did $36 million. Then you had Superman Returns in 2006. It was $204 million with a $390 million return. So then you lose that project from 2006. Superman hasn't seen the big screen. All of a sudden, Zack Snyder dropped 2013 Man of Steel with a $225 million budget, grossing just under $670 million. Now, from that point on, Superman, obviously we know where the second Superman went. It went to Dawn of Justice. But in between time, we can go to Batman. Batman's first movie, 1986, it was $35 million budget, and he did over $400 million. Roughly more close to $500 million. Smash hit. Batman Return was an $80 million budget movie, and it did $266 million. Batman Forever was $100 million. It made $336 million. But people like Batman Forever. It's a pretty good movie. Batman and Robin, $125 million. It did $238. I don't think a lot of people like that. It's just okay. And then you have a period where Batman goes away after 1997. Then we get Christopher Nolan. He drops Batman Begins, $150 million, gives you a $375 million return. Good movie, kickstarting his trilogy and his series. The Dark Knight 2008 on a $185 million budget, and it did $1 billion. Dark Knight Rises, $250 million budget, and it does $1 billion. The Batman slated for 221. I'm not really interested in seeing that project because I don't like the director and I don't like the guy playing Batman. I want Ben Affleck to be my Batman, and I want his solo movie. I think everybody that has read the script has understood the plot, the twist of it. I think that was going to be the best Batman movie ever made. I really think Ben Affleck Batman is one of the best. I think his costume, the older Batman, his Alfred, just the way he handled business, I think a lot of people like. So then we have Batman versus Superman, which had a $300 million budget. It did $873 million, right under, just a little bit under $900 million. I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time. I thought it was $1 billion movie, but it didn't make it. Critics didn't like it. It was too dark, too gritty, but it was a DC movie, and it was real good. Then we had Suicide Squad in 2016. It was a $175 million budget. It made $746 million, so you can see a little bit of success. Justice League was the flop. They spent $300 million on it and made $657 million. so they just made their money back. So it really didn't make a big return. So we kind of see that. Obviously, The Watchmen was a movie. It was just okay. So for DC moving forward, I think DC's got to do a little bit more in Shazam. I was not pleased with Shazam. To me, Shazam was just a typical superhero movie. It was just so, the story was so basic and so bland, you couldn't really get excited. There's no way I can see people liking that movie. It only grossed almost $370 million. But for some reason, people like it more than they like Batman, more than they like Superman, more than they like Justice League or Dawn of Justice. I just can't see that. So moving forward for DC, I think they got to stop with the rebooting, stop recasting, and start utilizing the talent they have like Marvel did. Let the characters grow in their role and let them continue to get better, and it'll pay off for you. Find you some actors and stick with them. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I like Ben Affleck. I think the best thing for DC to do right now would be to just have two universes. Go along with the Batman, go along with your Joker, your other heroes, and then allow Zack Snyder to come back into the fold and keep making the DCEU and keep giving the fans what he wants. One thing we have to understand about DC is that they're not interested in what the fans want, because if they was, they would re-release Justice League, the Snyder Cut, and let's really see it and let's see how the movie was intended to be. So from that standpoint, we really don't know anything right now. We know we got some movies coming out. Like I say, Wonder Woman, Shazam 2 is going to be in work. Aquaman 2 is going to be in work. So we think they're going to do a Joker 2. So really, DC is in apparel. I think Ben Affleck has 2 or 3 more movies on his contract. I would love to see him done the Cape and Cow one more time. Not going to say he's not going to do it, because you listen to the interview, he just, on Jimmy Kimmel, he just basically said he wasn't doing the movie. So I'm not totally closing the door. A lot of people are not closing the door. We're believing and hoping that we get that the next movie from him, or we get him, see him again. So from that standpoint, we'll find out. But not going to take up much more of your time. I do like DC. I think DC has more character depth. They're a little bit darker, a little bit grimmier than Marvel. And we just need to finally see some more success from DC. And hopefully this Batman will do something. If it doesn't, I'm really not concerned about it, because I'm not really keeping up with it or care to look for it. I mainly just watch Dawn of Justice when it comes to DC right now. So the bigger picture for them is just continue to make money. Stop bringing all these Marvel directors over. Find you some new directors. Find you a different version and make some things a different way. I don't want to see DC. That's what hurt Justice League. It basically was a Marvel movie. It basically was an Avenger movie without the Avengers, and that's why I think it done so bad. Whedon made too many changes to the movie, and it was terrible. The movie totally was different from the trailer, and I think that's what hurt it. So in the future, I like to see DC just use new directors, use new ideas, and use the source material like Snyder was doing, and put out some good quality. And that's just my take. If you like it, like and comment, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with another video with blacks in movies, and then movies in general moving forward, and why some movies have had a lot of success and why others don't, and what you can expect to come in the future from movies. Thank you. Y'all have a great and wonderful day.